Yeah, look it up. Look it up.
We all in our modes of like self-care. Me, I just wash my hair. I got to wrap it.
All I did was
Me
take
too.
a
Paper around it.
I just washed my hair too. I had a nice.
I saw Glean.
I had a nice cold plunge. I just got a cold plunge. It was
saw
48
that.
degrees for 10 minutes. I feel refreshed.
I know you do.
Is that why you feel refreshed, sir?
Some fresh orange juice from my tree. There's only a certain amount of time I'm able to do this.
I know.
I've
All
got
right.
Squeezed it myself.
fresh soda water.
Fresh Jaws water.
Expensive eggs.
It's not wine o'clock yet, so yeah. So oof, y'all.
What we want to talk about?
You know we
We
talking
Whoever's
gotta
about
mine first.
The
we talking
reunion.
about the Deliverance on Netflix, #1 movie on Netflix.
Let's start with let's get our
Our normal out, our usual UK. Let's end that today.
Okay, yeah, you
Because it was the
real quick.
reunion. And it went basically
Go ahead,
like
Shahida. Go ahead, take it. Go ahead, say it.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I gotta start. I gotta start by giving Shahida.
Okay.
We got to give Shahida her flowers because she called it right from the jump about Steven's fraudulent ass. Steven, go to Hollywood, sir, or find the nearest movie theater or movie studio in the UK and go act in movies because you gave a straight up Academy Award fucking.
And remember last week when Vanessa was on,
Mm-hmm.
and all three of you guys were like, you just love the couple, and I was just like, I just don't know what it is, but in honesty, it was both of them. I can't even say it was just him. I wasn't feeling, but it was definitely more him. But I didn't like her too much either. But maybe it was just his energy on her. But I just could not get with them as a couple at all. There was nothing about them that made them seem sincere. I just didn't feel it. Did not feel it. Which is crazy because I was with Demi and Ollie and I was never so shocked when they broke up. But I love who Demi is now.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say to this is the reunion was boring. Number one, it was rushed,
lackluster,
and I didn't think that there could be any other host worse than Nick and Vanessa Lachey than these two that were on there because they weren't holding these couples' feet to the fire.
No.
They were rushing. Like there was a point where like Sabrina was talking at one point, and they were like, "Okay, now, basically they was like, enough, we're done. Let's move on to the next."
They didn't even really get into it. They kind of touched on it and like this.
Yeah,
They
didn't.
It was only like 50 minutes long, so it was just like boom, 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 and that's it. They need to take a breather, or they need to take ideas from like Bravo, call up some Andy Cohen or something, and they need to do them reunions like they do over here.
I honestly did not hate it though. I like that it was quick and to the point. Because
there's no drama.
There really wasn't. But no, it was Sabrina and Steven were the only drama. Everybody else had already said their piece at the end of the wedding, so there was really nothing more to go on other than if you wanted to see if they were still together. But 9 times out of 10, you knew that nobody was going to, stay together if they had already broken up. They just completely, left each other. Yeah. So the only big surprise was Sabrina and Steven. And they could have gone into that more. I agree with you on that one. We, could have fleshed it out because he kept calling her a liar. Mm-hmm. She was saying he was a liar. So, but to me,
somebody's lying.
to me, I was hearing him being the liar because she was doing all that traveling back and forth to London to see him, and he only went to go see her twice when he made it sound like, oh, he was this big dude and he could do it all the time. Then come to find out, she said, what? He don't even have his own business? He was lying about that?
And he has roommates?
And room
A lot of roommates. She's like, how's a 37-year-old man living in a flat? Like, he ain't got no money, apparently, because he claimed, all right, so this is what's happening. After the reunion on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram, a lot of them were going on various podcasts. So a lot of stuff was coming out. So she did like some group interview with the other girls from Love is Blind. I mean, yeah, Love is Blind, right? Yep. UK. And she basically was like, she went over there like multiple times, and then he went there like maybe twice. And that was on the show. It was on the show when she said that, he basically through text like 2 days before Christmas when he was supposed to come out there and hang out with her and her family, he just texted her, "No, I can't make it." And then she said he kind of made it. He does own a gym, but it's not his gym. He's in it with like a friend and someone else. And he lost a lot of money. Well, he's irresponsible with money because he just pisses it away. And when he went on, instead of like saving, because you're taking time off of work when you're on Love is Blind, instead of like saving or whatever, he had no money. And they had to shut, I guess the people that own the gym or whatever, they had to like shut the gym. So I don't even think the gym is even a business anymore. So basically what he was telling her wasn't adding up. And he had his ex at the wedding.
I heard that. Did she know at the time that his ex was? She did? Oh, okay.
They were told.
But even if he has sex at the wedding, well,
come on, look at here. I could see if you're. Listen,
if they're friends enough.
I have an ex that is a friend, but I'm not going to his wedding. I mean, he's married, but I'm not. He's not going to invite me to his wedding. That's just weird.
Yeah, but if you're friends and you invite your ex to your wedding and they go, there's nothing nefarious about that. It's just like, okay, if you're friends enough to go to a wedding of your ex, I would imagine you're friends enough.
As a huge red flag either.
Yeah.
If you're truly friends, because I would go to a couple of my exes, marriage because cool. Only
I would just like to warn some people.
Only if I know the bride to be and she's cool, because I'm not doing anything to make her uncomfortable.
I just want to be able like, yo, man, watch out for this and this and this.
No, I would never.
Otherwise,
I would never.
Don't do that.
What else?
Yeah, if I'm cool with a couple of people and I've been cool with who they've dated with afterwards, as long as they're comfortable, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah. But come on, Netflix, Love is Blind, like you got like maybe a handful of people you're gonna invite.
I still like I liked him too.
He was
I'm just so devastated because I thought
they seemed so good.
They seemed so good, and I thought this was gonna work and that they were gonna make it. Oh, Sabrina.
Have we had another couple that we thought was so perfect that they
blew up like that? No, I can't recall.
The last one for me was New Orleans, the two weird ones in New Orleans. I love them together.
That's Married at First Sight. Yeah, that was
You're right.
They were, and they managed to stay together for a good while. This dude, as soon as the camera stopped rolling, he was done.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The switch. That's what she's saying. It was like immediate flip the switch, and it was like
even his demeanor,
like she was like reaching out to him and he wasn't responding, or he was off whatever doing something, and it was like why and I guess what cracked the back was when he bailed 2 days before Christmas. You just don't do that. That's just rude.
But then also too, like she was saying, he was trying to say their communication skills were different. She was saying he doesn't like texting on the phone and he doesn't like talking unless it's something. When you are in a relationship
A
with somebody,
long distance
a
relationship.
long distance relationship, and you are really into that person, you are texting whether you like it or not because you want to have that connection with that person. So he was fake from the very beginning, and then the
Well,
whole
Ollie,
wanting
the
to.
same thing. Ollie didn't text
Yep.
homegirl during the
Yep,
breakup too.
yep, yep.
So
Because Ollie was with Charlotte.
Before
That tidbit came out on the internet that could have been easily talked about on the reunion
they
because,
did talk about it.
but it was
they made
apparently
it sound like it
they
was
didn't get into the
after.
nuts and bolts of it. They were basically just saying like, "Oh, you're together now," or "You're talking now," and Ollie's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." But that's why, and now it all makes sense because when they kept looking, the camera kept shooting to Demi's face. Demi looked disgusted, and
You look mad.
apparently he was talking to Charlotte even when they took that little break before the wedding. He had reached out to Charlotte on the internet, the Instagram and all of that, and was chatting up with her and having conversations with her.
Ollie,
So
So he
bloke. Oh, Ollie, no, don't do it, Ollie.
I can't understand why he was so stunned when she said no. And he's like, why? And I'm saying to myself, you should have been happy. If you sitting here talking to old girl,
Charlotte was a stunner, though.
she was a stunner.
now
She's
she's
very
not much to me anymore.
Extraordinary.
She did
Extraordinary woman.
She did get on TikTok and
Okay.
on her page on TikTok, and she addressed a few things. And she is not happy with obviously Netflix and the whole thing because she's like, I went on the show. She's like, this is the reason why I went on the show because when you're dating and you meet people, it's all about the physical. She knows she's a beautiful girl. She didn't have to say it. She knows it because she's like, you know, when you meet people,
her up
people are
again,
looking at you.
everybody
She's a
going on
cutie
about
pie.
her.
I'll find it. I'll find it for you.
On the physical. She's like, so I went on Love is Blind because I wanted to find the love of my life, but I liked the premise of, you know, I'm doing it. I'm getting to know these people. They're going to fall in love with me, for me. I understand that.
That's
She's
not-
like, but after, like when she didn't match up with anybody. And when she's like, it was the mixer where she was off put because she's like, the Netflix people would like making it like zhuzh it up, do whatever, so that when she walked in,
Shahida.
she's beautiful.
Okay.
So,
by the way, Demi and Jasmine aren't friends anymore. Do you see that?
right, yep. Only because Jasmine was in the middle because Jasmine is friends with Charlotte. She was friends with both of them on the show, Demi and Charlotte. And then she got in the gray area. She got caught up in the middle because when Charlotte started talking to Ollie, Jasmine knew about it. And Jasmine, again, that's another TikTok story that I saw. Jasmine said on a podcast, she was like, I said to Charlotte, I need to tell Demi that you and Ollie are talking because she's my friend. And if I'm going to go hang out with her, I'm not a good friend if I don't let her know. She's like, I'm not going to get into the specificities or, you know, tit for tat of it or bullet points of it. She's like, but I need to tell her. And Charlotte was like, I'm cool with that. So she told Demi. And then Demi, I think it's because of Demi that reason why they're not friendly anymore. Or they're not, I don't think they're like hate each other. They're just not, you know, talking or whatever. They're not hanging out anymore. All because of I think Demi took herself out of the friendship because she's like, you know what? I don't need to keep hearing about Charlotte and Ollie. And I know that you're cool with Charlotte and I don't want to be hanging around you the possibility of it coming up. I get it.
Well, I hope Charlotte gets what she deserves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Vanessa can't come on because she's at the U.S. Open. So she's being fancy right now.
Tell her, pion, pion, pion. Oh.
But it's crazy because this is the first year in 14 years that my mother has not been able
to go
she must be just devastated.
She's so sad. She was
I
sad, but she had a
know.
good day yesterday, so that's why we had the fish fry.
Tell Vanessa to have a mint julep for me, or whatever those fancy drinks they eat or drink and eat at the U.S. Open. She's so fancy. She was boating.
So that's it for Love is Blind. I'm glad that Benaya and so and so are doing okay.
Can you say something about Benaya and what's her name, Nicole?
No.
Huh? What?
Benaya is rich. Like, he ain't rich.
He
is wealthy. And now it all makes sense. I'm watching these TikTok videos and I'm like, it always makes sense. Because when he showed up to that wedding with that coattails, I was like, now that's some class right there. That's a man with some class. Elegance. I love it. He is wealthy rich. He comes from old ass money. He went to a private school, a private high school, and private
school from his mother and sister either.
Exactly. No, they are rich. He has his own company. I forgot what he does, but he's got family money and he's got his own money, and he's not homeless. What he does is he has wealthy friends, and he house sits when they're on their vacations, and he goes and stays in their little mansions and walks the dogs, make sure everything's okay, and he saves his money from his business by staying in these people's houses because he don't have to pay no rent. He rich. Good for
I would like that as a wife.
I don't know about that.
No. In the words of Waiting to Exhale, Savannah, he's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man, Benaniah, whatever the hell his name is, Benaniah.
I don't know. There's something about that that's not connecting for me.
Really?
No, that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's all I heard on TikTok. Not saying
you rich. You definitely have some property. You should have some money where you have property, where you have your own property that you don't need to be going from house to house to house.
Yeah, but he's a hippie. He's like hippie-ish, and he ain't got no kids. He's just doing he's a nomad. I mean, he's gonna have to
have money. The first thing people do who have money is buy property.
Yeah, but maybe he's got old property in his family that he's going to probably inherit someday. And he's like, well, how many friggin' castles do I need?
I don't, that's not making a connection for me. So I'm going to go with my instincts on this one.
Hey, listen, again, disclaimer, put an asterisk beside it because I'm getting all this information off of TikTok. And we know people be lying like rugs on TikTok. Shit.
But I do want to say one thing about them two. I understood more what happened because I kept saying, why did you leave a man that you were connected with on day one for somebody who just came in all of a sudden towards the middle and then you just flipped to him? And so they've made it a little bit clearer on the reunion that it was him who had pulled back. And I know he had said that before.
Okay.
But I didn't quite understand it. And then he made it very clear that he had pulled back. She was asking him, do you want to go further with this? And he was just like, I'm not sure. So the other dude came in and he was like, I'm sure this is what I want. I love you. So she went with what she thought was a sure thing. And he said that he was wrong for not saying it in the beginning, how much he was into her, because he didn't. And then she said maybe if she had been a little bit more direct with her question, that whole Sam thing would never have happened.
Yeah.
So now I understand it a little bit more. So I really do like her much more than I did.
His school was $60,000 a year.
His what?
His school.
School.
Where he went to school.
For
high school or his college?
High school.
Yeah, his boarding school was 42K pounds. So about $60,000. Yeah. So, which is actually common for someone who lives in LA. For school.
Yeah, if you go into boarding school.
Yeah. So I don't know about how minted he is, but someone has some money somewhere.
Some money.
His parents could have the money. That don't mean he has the money.
Yeah, but you just never know. You never know. It's a good thing to sit on, though. If your parent, if it's your mother or your father that got that kind of money, eventually your parents ain't gonna let you be homeless. I mean, especially if you got a good relationship with them.
What? Yeah, a lot of parents will let their kids be homeless.
Well, I guess, but I
Which ones
to think,
too?
I don't know. I don't have
Depending on
them
their
problems.
kids.
I don't have them problems, so I got nothing to worry about. The only
But
way
no,
I'm
I do
homeless
like
is
him,
I
and
don't
I
support.
like her, and he might, and if he does, I mean, I feel like he's kind of been like, this lotus flower, just all over the place. She might ground him a little bit more, but I did like their video because they were all over. They were
Yeah.
doing some traveling, they were doing some, some nice bonding. So, and I love to see that for her. So
Yes. And
I'm glad.
I think she's beautiful, but I tell you what, I was standing her father. Her father was an absolute gem. Remember when they went to the house for dinner
Mhm,
before the wedding, and the father was just like, "Hello," and he was so chipper. I was like, I just like her dad. He's so cool.
mhm.
Anyway, um,
So that's it for Love Is Blind.
Bobby and Jasmine,
Yeah, they're still together. I
yeah, they're
didn't
still
see
together. Tom and Maria.
Catherine and Freddie.
That's really sad. Tom, fuck that. I don't like Tom.
He's an asshole. I don't like him at all. I didn't like him from the beginning, but I think it was more so because even she was angry at the reunion too. And I feel like she had every right to be. And
Oh
if they
yeah.
had better hosts, they would have really got to some really deeper issue with Tom because his explanation about the whole my daughter thing and I want her to be, it was stupid. It was
Very.
stupid.
Because Tom, if you had a daughter and the man she was with did a Tom on her, he would be ready to beat the living snot out of him. So I'm telling you, Tom was giving me UK rioter vibes. I ain't playing. He looks like the type. And if he
He's not the
leaves
one that's going to be in the riot, but he's going to be the one whispering to other people about it.
that part,
Or secretly funding them.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
yep. But when her mother sat him down and was talking to him, it was at that moment. I would have never let her walk down the aisle. The mother absolutely was like, "You're my family now. You can call me mom." I was sitting here like, "Oh my god, he is so gonna say no. He's going to say no, ma'am."
Yeah, but why? But why would he? I mean, I guess you can't tip off that you're going to say no. But why would he be like, say to her, the mother, I'm going to take care of your daughter. I want, that's
Because
just.
he's a scoundrel.
He is. And now he was on TikTok the other day, and of course I don't comment on most of them, but I had to comment on this. He put a video up on TikTok the other day, and he was at a table like looking like he was on a date, and he said something to the fact, or it was like one of those musical videos, and it was just the typing, and it was like on a date something, and I don't think she's really that interested or something like that. And of course I had to go to the comments because I wanted to see what people were saying, and no one brought it up. And I said, he probably ain't interested in you because she had to pay her 50% of, she had to pay for her own meal and her own drink, because we know you ain't paying for nothing.
I wonder how true. I mean, is he really living by that? Because
Probably because that's why he's a 30 something, almost 40-year-old man and single, going on Love is Blind UK.
no, I think he's probably on that show because he's very full of himself and he thinks he's the bee's knees. And he's probably out in these streets thinking that he can have any woman, any caliber. And he just keeps going, you know what? You're good. But you know what? The next one is probably better. The next one is probably, I think he has that mentality more so than
Or maybe
anything.
he thought he can go on there and get some sort of clout, like
I
all
think
of
he was
these
looking
shows
for
do,
that as well.
and he's going to score a brand deal, or he's going
He
to,
doesn't seem like the guy who would want clout to
women.
me. He
He
doesn't
did to
seem
me.
like he wants clout.
Yeah,
I
because
think he
he's
does
full
too.
of himself. He's very full of himself. And that's just one way to be just out there in the public. He probably thinking that, this could lead to other things for him.
Yep.
I just get that from him.
That on top of dates, because they're gonna, don't get it twisted, there are women that are gonna want to go out with him just because he was on Love Is Blind UK. People today are all, especially these younger crowds, these kids are all about being seen, who, you know, getting followers and clicks and all that stuff. So I wouldn't put it past a woman or whatever to go on a date with him just to get a picture or some video or something to put it out there so people could see it. Hashtag Love Is Blind UK with Tom hanging out. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I don't know. I get that.
With him getting with Tosh. Who knows? That was the girl he was liking before.
Yeah, I could see him with Tosh.
Yeah. Freddie and Kat aren't together. She's with some new guy, I guess. Another guy.
We don't need to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, Freddie's so cute though. I just like.
Is he with anybody though?
Mm-mm. He's back to the dead, working with the dead people again. Good for Freddie.
And how about to wrap it up with what's his name? The Sean. What's his name? The
Sam.
guy who was Sam. He came in and tried to be all like, "I'm sorry for stuff," and he's just so fake.
You could tell that it did not go the way he thought it was going to go
because he
looked scared.
He was sitting up. He was sitting up like this too. He was like not even relaxed. He was like, yeah.
You know who he reminded me of? He reminded me of the guy from the last season of Love Is Blind America. Remember the guy that they brought on, the one that was competing for the girl that told everybody she looked like Megan Fox? The big guy. Remember when he came on there and they kind of went in on him? And he was all nervous and I'm just so sorry. And he's like, I'd rather just get up and leave now. And he kind of did the same thing and was like, I guess I better go, you know. It was moot point to even have him on there. Great. He had to be screamed at by Demi to say I'm sorry when all he could have just
I love that moment.
I do. It's like, just shut up. Stop talking. Just say I'm sorry. That's all he could have done when he came out there is sat down and said, you know what, Benaya, Nicole, I'm sorry. I should have never said that. That was disrespectful. Yeah, it was a lie.
So apparently he was even lying about what he said about Nicole, about her wanting sex.
She said it was a lie.
Yeah, right. And she said that she thought that she was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna try and be the better person and just let it go instead of speaking my truth. And she's like, I learned my lesson that if somebody lies, just call them out at that moment instead of, because I thought that he was telling the truth because she didn't have much of a pushback. Yeah. But not that it mattered. It didn't matter. Right. He was supposed to be your, fiance or whatever. So if you was trying to get with them, that's fine. But the way he did it was so disrespectful. But I'm glad they ate his ass up. And I'm glad he's able to go home.
And again, even if, here's the thing, and then we can end it. But even if that happened and she wanted to go home with him and have sex with him, even if that was the truth, how nasty. There's nothing worse than a salty ass man that just lowers himself to bitch status. That's the last that's the last thing that can come out of his mouth to give that final dig. She wanted to come to my house and have sex with me.
Yeah, that's weak. That was really weak.
It's just and then the fact that it wasn't true, it made it even weaker. Like, dude, you couldn't even come up with something that actually happened. You had to make something up. So
he should have just kept his mouth shut all the way around, and he wouldn't be in this position. Now nobody fucking likes him.
But you could tell in that moment when he had said that, you could feel the anger lifting up off of him. You could see it on the TV. He was heated, and he felt that he needed to throw some type of bomb at that man who just beat him out. But that was on you. Yeah. You didn't want her because she was black, and we all know that. So anyway, moving on. What's next?
Real quick before we get to the Netflix Deliverance, if you have not watched, y'all need to watch Gary on Peacock.
Gary Coleman.
I was gonna watch it. I might watch it today.
I watched it yesterday. When I say Gary literally should be the reason why the industry should never have children. And until they're of a certain age, the children should just not be allowed to do work like that. That's just ridiculous. And that's all I'm gonna say. Y'all watch it. That they did Gary.
Poor kid.
Everybody did Gary wrong. Every fucking buddy did Gary wrong.
But I think, isn't it from like stories like his that they have put like safeguards in place for these kids now? Chris, you're in the industry.
I don't know.
It all depends on who is in your corner. Because Gary's own parents, they were.
Well, we knew.
You gotta watch. I'm just gonna say, because I keep going on. I
know his parents had stole from him years ago.
There was like maybe maybe two people that kind of I thought had his back, but at the end of the day, y'all still was around and not really stepping in as his friend or as his lover or whatever to help him out or whatever, because y'all kind of gained from him in his status financially at some point, so you're not gonna really go that far. But that's just here or there. Just watch it. It's very, very sad. But let's get to it. Can we talk about Miss Glendora Rikisha Jones Williams? That is Glenn Close. Give that bitch an Academy Award. I didn't know whether to be like, now that's some acting, or be fucking offended. There were moments where I was like, come on, Glenn.
No, I mean, come on. You know women like that exist. And it's supposed to be based on a true story, so I'm gonna go with that's how that woman is.
From the wigs, whoever did the costuming did her down. She was the typical black acting white woman with the Karen hairstyle, with the the short on this side, with the dangle on this side, the blonde curls, to the colored in eyebrows, everything, the torn up jeans, everything. I was like,
he even had on booty shorts at one point.
Ma'am,
I never thought I'd see Glenn Close in some booty shorts giving a sewing weave. That's just not what I thought I would see in my lifetime.
Well, the whole three of them, braiding the daughter's hair, she's doing the weave, and then can we talk about Omar Epps? That must have been the role of his life, to get with Glenn Close. Like, come on. You don't need to be kissing up on that.
But why would he be after her and not the daughter or something else?
That's maybe he just got to know her better from the cancer clinic, and he already had something with the mama.
First of all, I was like, "Is that Omar Epps?" I was like, "Ooh."
He put on some weight.
They didn't make
but let me just say, first of all, she reminds me of Did you see Fat Ham on Broadway?
Yeah, I saw it with you.
Yeah, I know. He reminds me of. I'm saying Tiny didn't see it. But anyway, she reminds me of my friend's character, like if she was 20 years older. That same type of attitude, that same, and every time, next time, okay, go back and watch it. Go back and watch it. Go back and watch Deliverance again for the first 5 minutes when you see her, and then think of my friend doing the same role. I was like, oh my God, that's just like the same. I'm telling you.
Well, I would have to go. I would have to see if I can pull up something on YouTube of your friend, because that was like 2 years ago. I barely.
I know,
remember.
but I'll try to find something for you. But it was just. It was like she saw it on my friend do it on Broadway and then did that same character because it's the same. And I was like, oh, wow. Anyway. But I was like, yeah, I understand what you're saying about being offended, Tanya. Not offended, but I was kind of like, first of all, I'm glad she did that. I am glad. I am not mad at Glenn Close. Glenn Close can do no wrong. She was like, you know what? Let me try this. I'm going to try this. And And she put she was in it. She wasn't just doing it to do it. She was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm gonna do it the way she does all her roles. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I was like, I just kept going, it's Glenn Close. That's Glenn Close.
And then the end with the fangs and the possession and
Yes.
She said, what did she say? I should. She said,
oh,
You,
I
you
should have pushed you down there like a blood clot. Like, what came out your mouth?
oh, she said worse.
Yeah, she said a couple of things that I was like, but I wonder when I understand working with Lee Daniels,
Mm-hmm.
it's a horror film, but I wonder when when Lee said to Glenn Close, he's like, okay, I want you to can you do this role? I wonder if he went to her and say, I want you to do this role. And I wonder if she read it, she was like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Because with the fangs at the end, it was a horror movie. I
Mm-hmm.
don't ever remember Glenn Close being in a horror movie before, besides Fatal Attraction. But being
I mean,
yeah,
that's
but
he was
hey,
scared.
I gotta give it up for her to do something that's not totally outside of her realm. She's done everything from playing
The
everything.
president.
She's played everything.
Yeah.
What's that show that she did
Great
not
casting.
Damages? Did you all watch Damages?
No.
You remember it came out a couple of years ago. It's a series. It was like maybe 3 or 4 seasons. That was my show. I love that damn show. It was almost like the same kind of show as the one with Kevin Spacey on Netflix. What was that?
Ooh, House of Cards?
It was like House of Cards kind of stuff.
Ooh.
She was just the real bad guy in this, and it was really good. And that was probably like the best series I've ever seen her in. But as far as like movies, always been a fan. Always been a fan.
Listen, what I said, I didn't know whether to be like clap or be offended. I had to laugh on that because that's just how damn good she was. I give it to her. She was absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, it was
Like, who else could do that role? Who else could do that role? And without being it, because she was on the border of being.
But you see, okay, you think about like Honey Boo Boo's mother. She's on the board. She's that same type of
Yeah, but not ghetto, like not like I'm
she's pretty ghetto.
a white woman playing a black playing. Who else could do that?
And
I'd like to see. I'd like to see Helen Mirren do that.
Angela from 90 Day Fiance that's been married to that African dude for a long time? Yeah. She's not an actress, but she's just as ratchet as that damn character.
Yeah, but ratchet. I'm talking about like
a real
from the hood with a black child.
Kathy Bates could do it.
Who?
Kathy Bates could do it. Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
Could do it.
Yeah. Okay. Kathy Bates could do that. Yeah. Glenn Close, though. Hey.
No, who could
give her a run for her money. She give Glenn Close a run for her money.
What's that woman's name? She acts in all of the American horrors. What's her name? She's married to that old elderly actress.
Not Diane Lane.
No.
And I love her too. She's really good. She can do it as well.
She's married. Yeah, because I didn't know
to the woman.
She's married.
Yeah. I just had it too. What's her name? Okay, hold on. I'll get it for you.
Oh, see, I was thinking about the older one. You're thinking about
you're talking about
you're talking about the redhead. I'm thinking about the older.
I'm talking about the older one.
Yeah, Jessica Lange could do it.
The short hair, and she also played the Nurse Ratched. Remember the Nurse Ratched series on Netflix?
What is her name?
Oh my God, what is her name?
I got you.
Come on, find it. Come on, Chris. She would be good.
And I love her. She's really good.
God, it's on my. Oh Jesus!
Come on, Chris.
Hold on. Hold on.
But I bet you Jessica Lange would be good too, because
Sarah Paulson.
Sarah
Paul.
Paulson.
Yeah, but
Sarah-
but who she's married to? She would be the one.
Oh, the one that she's married to?
The mother, yeah.
Older
She's
one?
really good.
Yeah, she's a good actress. But no, I'd rather
She is. I couldn't see her in this role,
Sarah
though.
Paulson would be able to pull that off.
Sarah Paulson's too young. She's 49 years old.
Zhuzh her up with some makeup or something.
No. Holland Taylor could do that. Holland Taylor's a good actress.
She is. She was great.
Holland Taylor is a good actress.
She is. I don't see her,
on the morning.
Well, you don't see Glenn Close either.
I do.
Oh, you can see Glenn Close doing this?
Yes. But I was just shocked at her. I was just shocked to see it. But her skills as an actress, I can see her. Meryl
Streep can do anything. Meryl Streep can do anything. Meryl Streep can do anything. So yes, if you had her do that, she would do that. She would. Meryl Streep can do.
Meryl Streep could do any goddamn thing.
Anything.
Yes.
Anything.
I'm nothing against Glenn Close, because Glenn Close killed it. They nailed it with Glenn Close.
And also, I love the fact that I love the fact that she doesn't. As an actor, you can't really have a judgment about how you're gonna look or how you. And when she takes the wig off and with the with the hairs, and she's
she's running down the street with a gun.
With the bat after Monique, when she came down with the blue shorts, with the bat and was like, "Get on out of here!" I was like, "Oh."
Let's talk about Monique. Yeah, that was a big role for her after the whole Lee Daniels thing. Where she was going after him and he banned her or whatever.
He made it right though, because she did a superb job.
I didn't feel like her role was anything. It was filler.
Yeah,
she didn't.
But at least she was in it. What I'm saying, at least.
Okay, yeah. But as for having a big role and big action,
she was in a lot of the scenes, so it wasn't like he just appeased her with here, you got this one little scene, and I'm over.
And she had the one scene where she talked about her son.
Yes, that was great.
She had the one scene where with the. What do you think about the main girl? What do you think about her?
I love her.
Andra Day.
Do you really?
She was absolutely superb.
She's absolutely gorgeous. She's probably. I don't know. Maybe it was because of the Billie Holiday movie that she did. I find her fascinating.
Andra Day.
Want to see her in more things.
Listen to
Andra
me.
Day?
I'm a hater because she's got a phenomenal voice, and it's just wrong that she should have the acting talent and the pick one and give some other person a chance. But I'm just glad that she's a sister and she is doing it.
I haven't seen her in enough things to give her. That was the first thing I've seen her in. I didn't see the Billie Holiday thing.
You didn't see the Billie Holiday thing on Hulu? Dude, go and watch that on Hulu. That was excellent.
She was in Marshall, the Thurgood Marshall thing. I saw her in that, but I guess I don't remember. Ben-Hur.
I like her. And then they
American
had the
Assassin
boy in it from Stranger Things. So that was
right. I saw. Yeah. Don't look like her kid, but
I was trying to figure out who he was.
Well, none of them kids look like her kids. None of them.
Could have had a brown daddy.
Well, I mean, you know how it runs sometimes in the family. They were all dark.
And what's her name? Anjanae.
Yeah,
she's always good.
She's always
good. You saw Origin, right? I told you to see Origin, right?
You did, and I didn't see it yet. I have to watch it.
It's a lot.
My mother loves that movie. I got the book. I haven't read it.
It's a lot. And she should have been nominated, definitely nominated for the Academy Award, not winning it, but she didn't get nominated because no one saw it. The Origin was a powerful film. Powerful. And she was phenomenal in that film.
What do you mean no one saw it? The Academy that votes sees it. You all get all the well, not
no,
you.
not necessarily. They don't necessarily see it. if it's a harsh film, they won't. It's not popular. They won't necessarily go out of their way to celebrate it, as opposed to one of
So
the more
they're
popular
racist
ones.
anyway. And
Hmm?
those old white men are very racist on the Academy Board. So
That's a really
they said
excellent.
it.
I'll watch it.
It's an excellent. It's hard. It's a hard watch
Yeah.
though. I saw her speak afterwards about it too.
The long ass list that keeps getting longer and longer of things I need to watch, and then on
It's a,
top of things I need to catch
so
up.
did you like the movie?
I did.
Oh yeah.
I've seen positive critiques and then I've seen negative critiques. And my thing is, I went through a phase where I was watching horror movies in every freaking language. And so I do like horror movies. They're not
Man.
my favorite genre, but I do like them. And as far as like a horror movie goes, I thought it hit all the good horror plots, and it was just a basic horror, and it was good. It was decent.
I think it dragged along a little too long in the beginning. Like
Yeah.
it should have. Like we didn't really get like to the meat and bones of the horror and like the way that the kid was really possessed until like almost like we had like maybe 35-40 minutes left in the movie when it could have got like they could have
started earlier.
They could have.
And what
Yes,
if there are all those flies? Why wouldn't she go down in the basement?
that part.
What? Just go down in the basement.
Yep.
And you think it's a cat that down there? Wouldn't the guy who got the cat then down there going, "Yo, there's something going on. There's something going on in your basement."
He thought it was a cat too when he brought it up, and that was
yeah.
it.
But she didn't. She never went down there. She always was like, "If anyone's down there, with all those flies."
And then she kept locking the door, and then when she saw the door unlocked and open ajar, she's like, "Oh my god!" And she just looked, "Is anybody down there?" And I'm just like,
"Yeah." But when she opens the door and the boy's knocking his head against the door, why wouldn't she be like, "Why you knocking?" She said, "Why you banging your head?" And then all the kids.
It took for all the kids to have the moments with when the kids shit in the class.
Oh, in the class, that was the best.
The other boy, basically laughing at his teacher, talking about her son died of AIDS, and the daughter just bleeding out. And I'm saying, when he threw that shit in her face, it was like.
So some of it was kind of like, okay, come on. But hey, if it's based on a true story.
Do you guys believe in stuff like that?
I do. I absolutely believe in stuff like that. I'm sorry. I'm just a weirdo like that. I do believe in
bad spirits. See, this is my take on bad spirits. I don't believe in that. In Islam,
Demonic possession? You don't believe in them?
I believe. I 100%.
The only reason I don't, and this is probably for my own self-protection, it's like you've let this evil person live on. God has let this evil person live on earth doing all kinds of horrible shit. Then the person dies and you still gonna let him run loose to do even more horrible shit to people? I don't think, if there is a God, then I don't think that would happen. And then I know in Islam, if you're an evil person, you're actually chained to your grave. That's what it says. I choose to believe that. I believe in good spirits. I don't believe in.
Why wouldn't they just? I understand they had no money. Move out of the house.
They didn't have no money.
They ain't got no way to go.
Talk yourself out
I'd rather be on the street if I have if I find.
But here's the thing: even if they left the house, the demon was still possessing them. Because remember when they left and they was in the car driving away, the kid in the back seat, the little boy was
the first time you have your son coming up going banging his head against the thing, that's you like, okay, we're out. We got to get out of here. I don't care what we have to do, but we have to get out of here. And also, interestingly enough, I understand they were trying to show the relationship between the daughter and the mother, that she was paying for her cancer treatments. Remember, they had the whole thing where she was paying for the cancer treatments. And I'm like, well, are you just getting back to your point on it? Let's get to the horror story as opposed to building up all the. We know she's poor. We don't have to. I mean, we know she's poor. You don't have to show us 18 different ways of how poor she is. You know what I mean? We get it. We get the mother and the whole thing with Omar and Glenn Close being like, and she's flirting with everybody. Remember, she was flirting with everybody, and the black women were like,
No, back in the day.
I mean, let's get to the scary part. There's a good 15 minutes they could have cut. 15 minutes in the beginning, they could have cut. Say, let's if we're going to talk about a horror film, not just a film of in the ghetto or whatever. Let's get to it. Let's get to.
See, I disagree with you on that one, only because I feel like in any movie, especially a horror movie, you want to get to know, you have to know the characters. So them laying out the character development of who the mother was, who the daughter was, what they were going through, how they got to where they were, maybe shave off some of the dialogue, but I felt like in essence, it was all very good.
Or they could.
And where was the father?
Huh?
He was in the military. He's in the military.
He was in Iraq, right?
Yeah, in Iraq or whatever. What they could have done was scrap the whole birthday party altogether. That was a waste of my time. And they could have went into.
It wasn't, because it showed the little boy's progression.
I don't know why, like you said, we want to know why they are in the predicament that they're in. What did Glenn Close's mother do? Like, they danced around it, like, because Andrew Day kept saying, I didn't forget when the mother was putting the cross up or whatever. They were like, and she's like, I didn't forget about what you did, how you raised me. You weren't no mother of the year. You weren't no saint. She's like,
that was because she let her up. That man raped her, and her mother knew. That came out.
Well, the mother apparently let him do it.
So why are you saying that's a question? You know what happened.
You need to go more into that as to,
See, then that would have been too much.
Yeah, and also, Angela Ellis, I can't say her name.
That's stupid shit.
Huh? Yeah, when she gets taken over by the demon or whatever.
In 2 seconds?
Said, because I had no faith. What makes you think this?
No, she said I had fear.
Yeah. What makes you think the girl's not gonna have fear?
Hair?
But what makes you think if you are a demonic, this is what you do, and you're scared, what you think this 3 kids gonna be? She gonna be okay? You gonna anoint her, and she gonna be okay? If I'm the person who's gonna try to take the demon out, this is what I do. You need me. You gonna call me. You gonna need me. This is gonna be the thing. And then she's like this. Come on. I was like, really?
100%, but maybe that's how it happened.
I was like, really?
I was
the woman who you say you're gonna need me. I'm gonna make you strong. You gotta have faith, and she's a woman of God.
Correct the mistake that she made with the first family. You just
that she knows. You know what? When this time around, I'm not gonna have faith. And then she was like, holy water. She much left the holy water, and she was like, she didn't care. She was like, holy water. She was like this one time and one time again. No more holy water. She's been out.
I can't tell you. I as much as I was like, oh my god, I was laughing my ass off. It was kind of like a cross between kind of a comedy and a damn horror flick. It was hilarious.
The boy broke his leather straps and was climbing on the wall. Would you even be in the room with that child ever again as Monique? I would be like, I'm going to hand my case over to Alistair over here. She's going to take care of that, because I saw the boy, this little boy, break his leather strap and climb the wall, and she was still like, how do you know my son's name? I'd be like, you know what, I'm out.
That was before.
And I would have been the damn nurse.
But still.
Sitting at the nursing station when the doctor was like, which room is the Jackson boy in? And she's like, 205. And I ain't never going in there.
I ain't going in there.
It's like, talking about? And she's on her computer, and I bust out laughing. I'm like, bitch, that would have been me sitting right there, like,
And
I ain't
this
going
and the
there.
same girl when homegirl just walked in her scrubs and was like, "Hey y'all," they've been like, "Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that?
No call
Who's that?
We don't know this girl.
Nothing."
We're just like, okay, go and take
Hey y'all,
that.
like she knows them. Like you've never seen her. Hey y'all, it's like what? Anyway,
Yeah, it was wild. I liked it though. I'm not gonna say
I was so entertained that it's like when it was over, I was like, Lee Daniels should he should make it like, I know it was about a specific family story, but or true story, whatever. But I'm like, Lee Daniels should like make that like an ongoing series. Like there should be a Deliverance too. Like they have like Abigail part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all those different types of horror things. They should do like he should do like a series of like crazy
so
ones.
is the demon gone?
They tore the house down in real life, and then
right?
people said
Well,
that
in the movie,
There's
even
still
though
things.
the house was torn down, that when they walk by
This,
the plot, that they feel like something is there.
People feel like when they're in the area that or on the plot of land that they.
I wonder if there's a book. There has to be a book on it. There has to be based on a book. Let me find out if I can find that. Hold
I
on.
know that the mother gave an interview. I only saw it on YouTube. The mother gave one interview after it was over. And she didn't interview the kids or nothing. Because with the one that I watched yesterday, and I turned it off because I was like, this was all about this guy that's like a spirit chaser. But he went to her apartment of where she lived now, and he wanted to talk to her, but she wouldn't come out and talk to him. She's like, I don't, and she wouldn't let him in the apartment. Like her brother was in the apartment or whatever, and the brother was like, you can't come in here. She don't want you in here because he told them he already went to the house. He bought the house and he went in the house, and she's like, you ain't coming in here. You've been in that house. You're not coming in here. So she didn't talk to him. And then after that, it started going off the rails. And I was like,
here's some facts. The film was based on the LaToya Ammons family possession. The cast includes 1 Oscar winner, Monique, and 3 Oscar nominees, Glenn Close, Andra Day, and Anjanou Ellis Taylor. The real Ammons home in Gary, Indiana was purchased by Ghost Adventures host Zach Bagans in 2014 for $35,000. He demonstrated using saying there was something weird. But originally, the role for Monique was Octavia Spencer.
I saw that.
It was replaced by Monique. So, interesting. So he's probably like...
The mother, okay, the mother in the film, does she look mixed to you in the real life version? Because I saw her interview and I'm like, she just looked like, regular Black American.
Yeah.
So I didn't see her as being mixed.
Well, no, they said when the movie first started, it did say that it's based off of fact.
But usually even if it's based off, they still kind of like having a biracial child and the mother being white and like that.
Yeah.
That's usually something that, you probably would take from like the real life. But for him to add that in for, I guess, whatever type of drama, that was a little, I was a little shocked by that she wasn't mixed.
Yeah.
And Miss Lawrence.
Next.
How about the quick scene of the old family? When homegirl chopped his head off with an axe and killed, and the girl was like, and the little girl came in, and the mother's like, I'd be like, that girl was like, phew.
Yeah, that was.
And also, crazy. I didn't like when she lifted up. You can't lift up a dead head like this. She lifted. Anyway, she lifted the head up off the ground like this, like the front part of it. I was like, anyway.
Yeah, but it was good to have that backstory. But poor Trey been taken over by the demon, and Anjanou couldn't cast him out. That boy been in the basement waiting for her ever since. That's why he snapped.
Okay, but on the whole, did you guys, first you asked us if we liked it. Tanya, did you like it? Is it a recommendation? Okay.
I liked it. That's why I said he should.
I would just watch it. I would just watch it just to see Glenn Close. That was worth it. That was worth it. Just
what drew me in, but that's not what made me stay.
No,
well, no, it did make me stay.
That made me stay. I was
like, we watch it so quickly is because I kept seeing like people on like Instagram and Facebook kept talking about it and putting clips with Glenn Close, and I was like, I don't want to see it. But I when I first saw her, I was like, Glenn Close. I was like, I got to watch this shit. Glenn Close got a cigarette hanging out her mouth with some acrylics and rings on every finger and a wig.
It's got a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 54% on, so not very good.
Well, the numbers speak for itself. Everybody's watching it, so I don't think Lee Daniels gives a hairy rat's ass about Rotten Tomatoes right now. So
I mean, I watched it mainly because of, like I said, like Glenn Close that drew me in. But what is the movie that Tyler Perry just did on Amazon? And everybody I still haven't seen that one.
Oh, I saw that.
Which one?
The one with Megan Good.
I watched that.
With who?
Was it? What'd you think? The one with Megan Good?
Yes.
Oh, Divorce in the Black? I didn't watch that. No.
I watched that.
And what did you think? It was that bad?
It's just the same bullshit, the same shit. And you're like, oh, come. It's the same shit. Shit.
Well, he's about to redeem himself, apparently, because he's got that new film coming out in a couple of weeks with Kerry Washington on Netflix. It's about, I guess there was a regiment. Again, they don't teach us proper history in our schools. It's about a black woman regiment back in the day. It's a drama. And I heard that it's getting like rave reviews, like it's going to be fun.
Did he write it, though?
Of course, he does everything. He wrote.
No, I mean, he's in some stuff that he doesn't write.
I think he wrote it. I don't know. I could be wrong, but
I hope he didn't. Put this way, I hope he didn't write it.
I just assumed that he.
Because I can't think of a Tyler Perry movie that is of substance that he wrote. Now I know there are some Tyler Perry movies that he produced.
Well, this
did not write.
It's a Tyler Perry film, so I'm gonna say it's safe to assume maybe he had his little AI bots write it, since he's not hiring writers anymore because he's using AI now. That
he never hired writers. He never hired writers. Yeah. He always writes every single show, every single movie.
I'm gonna say it's safe to assume that it's going to be good because Kerry Washington plays like the
it's called 688.
Yeah.
He wrote it. He directed it. Kevin Heimel wrote it based on a story by Tyler Perry wrote it based on a story by Kevin Heimel, and obviously he produced it, and yeah.
So he went off of somebody. So it's not an original. He wrote the screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that might mean it might be better because he's following the outline of something else. But what original comes from his head is always along the lines of something.
Yeah, that Divorce in the Black, I didn't watch it. A lot of people were saying that some people liked it, some people hated it, some people was just like, meh. And I didn't watch it only because it was nothing original. It's like, and then I saw a couple of clips from it and I was just like, no, it's not for me. I mean, I wanted to support Oh Boy there. What's his name? The guy that
it's filmed in England.
Oh, really?
It's all filmed on location in England.
Okay.
The Kerry Washington 688.
Yeah, so I think it's coming out in a couple of weeks on Netflix. So yeah, we shall see.
All right.
Into period pieces like that, but I'll watch it.
All right. Well, until there's a couple of things I want to talk about next week, but I'll wait because
we'll talk about crazy worst ex
ever.
Oh my god.
Worst ex ever. We'll talk about that next week after Tony watches all of them. I watched 2 of them. 2 out of 3.
I watched all 4.
So
or
4. I watched 2 out of 4.
Watch the rest of them right now and be sitting here like, oh Lord, lock my doors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Exactly.
We'll talk about it. All right. Till next time.
Bye.
Peace out.
Bye.
See y'all later.
Still